Written by American author Stephen Vincent Benét, The Devil and Daniel Webster offers a fresh take on the Faust myth, exploring themes such as the devil in America, patriotism and loyalty's limitations, and the nature of justice. First published in the Saturday Evening Post in 1936, the story later appeared in Benét's collection 13 O'Clock in 1937, where it received the O. Henry Award for the best short story of that year. Influenced by Washington Irving's The Devil and Tom Walker, this tale begins with an unnamed first-person narrator who describes it as a local legend in parts of New England. The narrator introduces Daniel Webster, a revered lawyer depicted in almost divine terms. He never got to be president, but he was the biggest man. There were thousands that trusted in him right next to God Almighty, and they told stories about him that were like the stories of patriarchs and such. The focus then shifts to Jabez Stone, a perpetually unlucky farmer from Cross Corners, New Hampshire, whose ventures consistently go awry. Frustrated with his misfortunes, Stone wishes to sell his soul to the devil in exchange for better luck. Almost immediately regretting his wish, Stone's life changes dramatically the next day when a genteel man, dressed entirely in black, knocks on his door. This man, later revealed as Scratch, the devil, offers Stone 7 years of good fortune in exchange for his eternal soul. Despite his doubts, Stone agrees, pricking his finger to sign the contract in his own blood. Following this deal, Stone's luck turns around, his farming endeavors flourish, and he and his family become prominent figures in Cross Corners. Stone is even considered for a position as selectman and a potential candidate for state senate. However, he is haunted by his bargain, facing reminders of his doom with Scratch's annual visits. In the 6th year of the contract, Stone challenges the agreement, negotiating for an additional 3 years of life before Scratch claims his soul. Scratch consents, but when Stone seeks further extensions, Scratch refuses. As the deadline approaches, Stone desperately searches for a way out of his deal and turns to Daniel Webster for help. After explaining the terms of his contract, Webster agrees to represent Stone in a courtroom showdown against Scratch. On the final night of Stone's contract, they return to Cross Corners, where Scratch greets them at midnight. While Webster is eager to confront the devil, Scratch insists that the contract is clear and urges Webster to uphold the law he has sworn to defend. In response, Webster questions Scratch's citizenship, asserting that no American citizen may be forced into the service of a foreign prince. Scratch counters that he is an American citizen, citing his presence at various tragic events in American history as evidence. Acknowledging Scratch's claim to American citizenship, Webster asserts that Stone has the right to a trial by jury. Scratch agrees, stipulating that he should select the jury, promising that every juror will be an American citizen. The jury of the damned then enters, comprising notable deceased figures from American history: Walter Butler and Simon Girty, both loyalists from the American Revolution; King Philip, a Wampanoag chief who led a failed rebellion against New England colonists; Governor Thomas Dale, a tyrannical administrator of colonial Virginia; Morton of Merry Mount, a rival to the Plymouth Pilgrims; Edward Teach, better known as the Pirate Blackbeard; and Reverend John Smeat, presumably a fictional creation by Benét. John Hathorne, who oversaw the executions during the Salem witch trials, serves as the judge. Webster quickly realizes that Scratch has stacked the jury against him and Stone, stirring his anger. Just as he is about to erupt, he understands that this is Scratch's intention, to capture Webster's soul as well. Therefore, he composes himself and begins to speak of life's simple pleasures: the freshness of a fine morning when you're young, the taste of food when you're hungry, and the new day that's every day when you're a child. He argues that all these joys become meaningless without freedom. While acknowledging that America and her people have made many mistakes throughout their history, he contends that each misstep has led to something greater for the country. He concludes by stating that Scratch, or any devil, cannot truly comprehend what it means to be American or human. After a brief deliberation, the jury announces their decision in favor of Stone and Webster, despite the clarity of the contract's terms. They admit that it was Webster's eloquent testimony that swayed their judgment. As the sun begins to rise, the jury vanishes. Scratch congratulates Webster on his victory and tears up Stone's contract. Before Scratch can escape, however, Webster grabs him by the arm, demanding that he never return to New Hampshire to trouble Jabez Stone, his family, or anyone else in the state. Scratch agrees to this condition, though Webster continues to threaten him for some time afterward. Before departing, Scratch offers to read Webster's future from his palm. Webster allows it, and Scratch predicts that Webster will not achieve his primary ambition of becoming president. He also warns that Webster will face backlash after his final speech, referencing Webster's 7th of March speech, where he expressed support for the Compromise of 1850. Webster accepts these foretellings, trusting that his legacy will endure. He then asks Scratch if the Union, for which he has fought his entire life, will survive. Scratch replies that Webster will not live to witness the outcome of the struggle, but that the supporters of the Union will prevail. Webster laughs at this response before kicking Scratch out the door. According to legend, Scratch honors his word and never returns to New Hampshire. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did, and be sure to subscribe. Thank you.